I played golf and baseball. I didn't play baseball till high school. I played golf since I was like 4th, 5th grade. I still golf. I just like the sport. It's fun. But baseball was like the only team sport. I played basketball in middle school, but that doesn't really count. Yeah. Baseball. I was outfield, which meant not good. But I had a pretty good batting average, so I was happy with that. So
in golf, you still play? Are you pretty good?
No, I just do it for fun. Like on a really good day, it's like bogey golf, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is my sweet spot. But whenever I go out to golf, I'm just like walking by myself for exercise because I have fun doing it. I'll shank a shot and be like, just throw down a ball, hit another one. Like I'm not taking it too seriously. I just enjoy it.
Golf is,
but yeah, I like it.
In that, how good you are is like a real thing that's recorded and comparable, right? Like, how good are you at hockey? Oh, I'm better than all the other guys. That tells me very little.
Yeah.
It tells me very little.
Shoot Augusta. And it's like, well, I don't like to talk about that.
200. It's like
in the North Carolina men's C League level, I'm well above average.
North Carolina men. Whoa.
Some stiff ice hockey competition going on there.
They call that the Ontario of the South.
The Ontario of the South.
The people did. I started it just now.
I like golf a lot because you can go out by yourself, get the full experience of playing, and then play against yourself every day. And like you said, it's like very quantitative. You have exactly how you did compared to how you did last time. And it's just fun.
But I feel like it's an always lose sport. And paragliding is something that I do sometimes, right? And every time you jump off the side of a mountain, you are hoping that it's the best day you've ever had. You're hoping that you break some new record. And anything shy of that is kind of like, I did well, but it wasn't my best day. You know, like I was really hoping to achieve this new thing. It was fun, I guess, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. All the time. Every like year and a half, you have your best day. Like, you know, that's how often it happens. I feel like golf has a lot of that where you're just, how'd you do? Well, not as good as, you know, March of 2021.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. You always have like, cause you set your own standard, right? So if you have an abnormally good day, everything after that isn't abnormal is going to be a bad day by comparison. But which is the reason I don't take it too seriously with myself. Because as soon as I do, it doesn't become fun anymore. Then it's like just me seething over myself from a year ago versus like just going out and having fun. And normally I find I play my best games when I don't care. Because whenever I care is when I'm like, my knee position isn't quite right. I'm going to shank it. Yeah. You're all tense and everything.
Weightlifting has some of that. Like today, if I hit a PR in an exercise, like today I did in bicep curls. And so I had a little more weight than I ever had before. And I get to 8 and I was like, I should fucking stop here. Save some PRs for tomorrow. You know, you're obviously you're a good day for you. Fucking don't do 12, you asshole. That's going to be your new standard. Any day you don't do that, now you suck.
Yeah, because the next day you're like, well, I did it yesterday. So now
what's wrong with me today?
Live up to it. Yeah, exactly. What's my problem?
Golf would be so much fun if I liked it. I see how all my friends who like golf have a blast with it, and have you ever gone out
with your buddies? Like on a
I've
golf
gone
cart?
out. I've had a bunch of fun doing scrambles. I told Kyle that the other week. We're like, that's a ton of fun because it's more about the socializing and the chilling, and there's no pressure whatsoever.
Like 5 people go and use whoever did best, and then
best ball.
Yeah,
you
and
play
so
best
it's
ball,
like you just pretty much split it. So it's like, okay, well, there's a group of 8 and there's 3 actually decent golfers. We'll put the best guy with the 3 worst and like that kind of thing. So there's no pressure on me. And like at least 3-4 times throughout the day, through sheer luck, I'll like crush it straight down the fairway.
Driveway.
And it's like, the driveway. I almost said driveway. Right down I'm really close to golf. Very close to golf, you can tell. And like, and that feels good too, because even though you've been bombing all day, you hit like one really good one. It's like, damn, like I'm part of the team. Like that was the best one. I'm helping.
Almost, as I think about it, the tactic seems to encourage riskier shots, right? Like you're getting essentially like 4 or 5 tries at it. If everyone plays conservatively, you'll never have any greatness.
Yeah.
Oh, whenever I play scramble golf, we're like, all right, first two, we're going to try to bank it off that house. If that doesn't work, someone else go.
All right, this hole we're just going to hit it as hard as we can, no style. Just
close your eyes, scream.
Have you
scream
seen
as
Happy
do it.
Gilmore?
That does work.
Unironically.
Yeah.
Wait, no way that works.
It does.
No, it
like
doesn't.
if you
It's
hit
a
it
horrible
straight,
idea. If
it'll
you hit it straight, yeah. If everything lines up
but
perfect.
no
when
way
they do
you
the
would do
world's
But don't do
longest,
that.
like they do driving championships. You've seen them probably
Yeah,
with like the
yeah.
8-foot golf clubs. They don't run.
Mhm.
No. Oh, I was just saying you could do it. Like if you hit it perfectly the way Happy Gilmore did. But yeah, there's a reason all those pros like their feet just where they are. Like because that's where they're succeeding.
Even then, you're not adding a lot to it because what drives the ball is like the velocity of the swing. So you running as you're doing it would add like a fraction.
Yeah, I wonder how
the
fast the
chance that you
golf
hit it
club
right.
goes because you're going to add about 2.5 miles an hour to it, maybe by running.
Yeah, and you're
I mean,
taking
you're
away all of
running.
your accuracy.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm capable of
it's-
running up to 8 miles an hour, but I couldn't hit a golf ball at the same time,
As
so I
you're
would
running
run
8
at like
miles an hour.
3. You
I
know?
claim to
It's-
run at 12 miles an hour. So
I
a
mean, there
little
was a
faster than
time.
you. And this isn't golf, so you can't prove me wrong. So, there's no track record.
You can do 12.
I can be unbelievably fast if I try.
You arguing about how fast you can run?
We were talking about
pros
running
pros
while
can
hitting
swing
the Happy Gilmore golf swing.
Oh, that's silly.
Yes.
in the high drive competition. They get up to about 140 mile per hour. So
I can barely
running's
hit the
not gonna add
goddamn
a
thing
ton.
at all.
That's actually not as fast as I would have guessed for a golf ball. Because like a baseball
no. That's the golf club
Oh,
that
okay.
they're swinging. Yeah. The
The
golf
golf
ball
ball.
would, on takeoff, it's going faster than a pitch. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't think so.
Yeah.
'Cause there's clips of people getting fucked up by golf balls.
Yes,
They don't say
hurt a
4.
lot.
And it was a friend of mine. We were golfing in like fucking high school, just shitting around on some public course, and he hit me with a ball. I was standing like literally lateral to him as he was hitting it off the fairway, and he sliced it or just nicked it so bad it hit me in the ankle. And it was like, you fucking idiot.
I
Like,
drove right.
That
went right
actually
over.
hurt. Like,
Well,
went
come
to,
catch me, you gimpy.
I know another one of my. I've heard people tell this story before, so I guarantee it's happened multiple times. I know someone who drove a golf ball, like, you know, geese are out on the golf course sometimes. Someone was like, hey, I'm gonna drive this right at that goose, and like it's 100 yards away. It's like there's no fucking way. But he was like bad enough at golf. He was in that sweet spot of I can hit it that far, but I don't know where I'm gonna hit it. And he killed a goose on a golf course.
Really?
Hit it. He said it hit it in the neck, and it wiggled around for a bit, and then died. And they just played through. Like, there's nothing else you can do.
So
No
At least,
mercy.
at least it was a bad kind of bird.
So I witnessed this firsthand. I can attest to it. When I was in high school, we were playing a match, and there was this guy who I went to high school with who there's so many stories about because he was just bad luck Larry. The worst situations you could imagine happened to him constantly. I remember he had like this crush through all of high school, and then he finally asked her out. She said yes. An hour later, his dad called and was like, the dog got hit by a car. Like nothing could go right for this guy.
Oh.
So anyway, we're during a golf match. He's playing. He's not that good. God bless his soul. He had the attitude, but he just couldn't quite get it there.
R.I.P.
And I was finished with the course, so I was watching him. He was like our extras who were in the back golfing, and I was on a cart, and he hits a drive, and the drive beelines right into a tree. And whenever it hits the tree, I see the golf ball and something else fall down. I'm like, that was weird. He walks up there, and we can see from like 50 yards out, he's just going, like staring at the ground. We drive up to him to see what's going on, and this man, I kid you not, hit a 3-legged squirrel.
Oh,
This thing, its back leg was gone, clipped off in some injury.
that was
at some
Osama
point.
bin Laden
And
reincarnated.
That was a bad luck squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a match made in hell.
It was laying there twitching, just like barely dead, and he was staring at it. And the coach, who didn't like this guy to begin with, he walks up to him and he goes, "Did you hit that squirrel?" And Larry's looking down and he goes, "I love squirrels." And the coach said, "Just hit the ball."
That's I mean, Larry's you see an animal writhing in the death throes there. You got to end it for the animal. Don't let him fucking roll around for 20 minutes in agony. I'm the last one to insult people on their lack of math comprehension. I just remember every single time in math class being like, yeah, this isn't that hard, but it is so fucking boring. It's so difficult to keep your attention on like algebra 2. It's grueling. There's at no point was I like, oh, that's so neat how I equaled the equation. Like
I would
it was
fuck
just
up.
awful.
I would fuck up and I would have this whole thing. It's like, all right, tomorrow we're starting a new chapter. Tomorrow's the new chapter. And I'd go in there and I'd be
the
like,
Taylor diet.
I'm like,
tomorrow builds upon today, though.
New chapter tomorrow. New chapter tomorrow. All this shit today doesn't matter anymore. We already failed.
That's never
today.
what happens in math. It's always like, today we do A plus B. Tomorrow, A plus B plus C. And it's like, oh, fuck. I was really struggling with yesterday's lesson. I don't know how I'm doing today's.
Oh, there was a time I remember it was an algebra class my freshman year of high school, and I did what you're saying, where I was like, I'll catch up before the test. Didn't learn anything, and we'd have daily homework, and he would walk in like an up and down. He wouldn't have people pass their homework to the front. He would have people like just have it on their desk, and he would come down. And he would get it from this guy named Jake. And then when he went back up, it would be past me. And Jake would pass his homework to me, and I'd write in all the answers really quick. And then I'd hand it back to him. And every week, there was no work on my sheet. No working it out or anything. It was just the answers. And every week, he'd be like, Taylor, you really have to bring your scrap paper so I can see. And I'm like, you know how it is. You get so into your maths that you forget. That worked all year. I didn't learn anything. Yeah, and all of the tests were grueling. I would get all the questions on the left side of the paper correct because I could look over and see what Jake was doing. Right side of the paper, maybe once in a while I could
how to
peek
do
through.
algebra 2 even a little.
Enough. I passed. So
not according to the Missouri educational system.
Yes, certainly not. According to Missouri, I'm well versed in algebra. But it was Jake. Shout out to Jake. Thank you very much for that.
Damn, Jake. I didn't have any. I only tried to cheat like that one year, and it was in some sort of computer class, and it was so easy to cheat because you could just like copy somebody else's thumb drive, and I did that, and I printed everything out at home, and she could recognize the difference between inkjet and laser, and so I got like a 15 or something in that class, like what? Because like most of the year's work had been fraudulent. Did
you guys ever hook up any cheaters in high school, like friends who needed help? Because I remember like one of my not a friend, an acquaintance, but I'd help him out. He would sit to the right of me in English senior year. And we would get vocabulary tests, and this fucking retard could not remember the meaning of words to save his life. And so every single week, I would take the test, he'd take the one, and I would finish the whole thing, and he would look off of it. And it got to the point that the teacher was so disheartened by obviously seeing Joe cheat that like she stopped caring. And so at one point, he just reached over after I was done, took my paper, and then just copied it. And she saw it. She gave him an A+ on that one. But then the next week, she gave him a remedial vocabulary test, so it would be different from everyone else in the classes. And she did that for a while. And he'd be like, Taylor, what does sufficient mean?
Oh no!
And I'd be like, it's right. It's C. It's enough. Like it's C. It's certainly not avian birds or whatever the fuck that B is. And I helped him through that too.
I can remember a guy who was trying to cheat off me. It's like, Woody, what'd you get for number 3? And I'm like, pal, I'm not your guy. You want to ask somebody smarter.
I have no idea, but if you find out, you let me know, right?
I remember
I'm lost. I thought this was geography.
I remember in a chemistry test once in high school. It was probably 10th grade. Like they didn't have a normal seating thing. It was like a big, almost finished square, and where he would stand at the front, and it was just that kind of U shape with the square desks, and everyone was sitting there. And someone who was really, really good at chemistry was like, I'll sit on the far right. And then everybody just copied to the left of me. And it was like a game of telephone where like our grade, it was like 90%, 87%, 80%, 74%, just like worse and worse as it got down. Thankfully, I was only, I think, 2 from him. And so I got most of the good answers. Yeah, cheating in high school. 2 thumbs up to that. There's no reason not to, Well, Kyle, you are muted, my friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I had any other good cheating times. You would think so. I mean, there was plenty of times when like I would have like a little cheat sheet of some kind, like a formula or something. And what I would always do in that situation, because I felt like getting out a piece of paper or like something like that was so ridiculous, I'd either write on my palm or and sometimes it'd be a code anyway that even if they saw it, they wouldn't know what it meant. But to me, it's a mnemonic device or something like that. And that or my main trick was to write on the desk. Write the cheat sheet on the desk and make it look like some asshole just scribbled. Mm-hmm. And so like I'm over there putting all the fucking answers all over my desk in wonky spots, like if it's like biology or something like that, like the inner workings of a cell, like all the little pieces and like how like each one is inside the other or whatever. Like that's on the top of my desk because I'm not remembering that shit this week. And nobody ever saw that. And because at the end you could just like lick your finger and rub it right off.
In what was a class I cheated in? Italian. I cheated in Italian a good bit.
You had Italian class?
Mamma mia!
In college. In college.
Oh, college.
Yeah, I remember taking Italian. And this is an even better one. I remember I was in 8th grade, 9th grade doing math, and I did not know what was on the test. And I remember telling myself in lunch period, the test is right after lunch. I was like, I'll probably know some of it. I've been in class. Like, I get it. And then I got into the class and I saw the test and I was like, oh no. And so I like pushed on my nose and picked it and pushed it until my nose started bleeding. And I was like, I gotta go. I can't finish the test. I can't finish the test. I'm sorry. And so I went to the bathroom, got my nose to stop bleeding, pretended that it took half an hour. And then came back and like sat down and was like, gotta finish my test. And I went over to the teacher and was like, I can't possibly finish this. Can I do it another day? She was like, I fucking guess so, Taylor. I went home, still barely studied, and got a C. I thought that I was I was made, but then she gave me a different test. And so that was what proved difficult. So I was more studying the questions I had seen, but that wasn't the way it panned out.
You mean only studying the questions you saw?
Only studying the questions I saw. Yeah, because I just hated that. And she was such a
waste
bitch
of time.
of a
all this testing and horse shit
that
we had to do.
It's a bunch of nonsense. Like
nothing.
At no point are they like, we're going to teach you how to pay taxes and build a financially responsible future. How to invest in stocks. It's like, what did fucking George Washington eat for breakfast on his 30th birthday? Who cares?
Amazing. Thank you. I'm so glad I half know Italian right now.
Oh, well, I fucked up. You need to take a full language, at Mizzou where I went. And the only class, it was a 6-hour class. So only 2 classes for Italian could get you your entire language requirement, whereas you would need 3 classes for Spanish or for Latin, whatever else you wanted to do. And so I took Italian 1 my freshman year, 2nd semester of college. And I was like, that sucks. This is a problem for senior Taylor. And so I didn't take Italian for 2 full years. And then I jumped into Italian 2. And this teacher is only speaking in Italian during class. And I have no idea what is being said. And I immediately, I've said it before, so I'll keep it quick. I reconciled myself to being like, all right, you're going to be that guy that upsets everyone who just raises his hand and answers wrong for everything. So she knows you're trying. I would go to office hours and be like, look at my workbook. I'm trying. Is it any good? And she'd be like, this is so wrong. Like there's so much of this.
Buongiorno, it's me, Taylor.
Buongiorno. Oh, hey, my speaking test was the most. This poor woman for having to endure the most uncomfortable event in all of human history. And you had to write an essay at the end of every test. And you would have to write about your family's trip to the grocery store. And I didn't know fucking a lick of Italian. And so no matter what the question was, I would lead off because there was a word requirement of like 250 words in the essay. And I'd be like, me and my family and my brother and my sister and my dog all went to the grocery store and bought wine. We also went to the movies and watched a movie with my brother and my sister and my just everything. And all of each essay worse than the last, to the point that like she genuinely she thought I was an actual retarded person by the end of it, because I did not earn a C, but she gave me a C because I and that's a nice college lesson for you. If you don't know what the fuck's going on, go to the office hours, be that stupid idiot in class who's like asking questions and upsetting all the rest of the classmates. But that teacher is going to remember you as that stupid idiot who doesn't quite get it.
Over learning Italian,
just learn Italian. That's not a good tip.
It's actually okay. You're
Guys,
right.
Hear me out. I have this hack. Work incredibly hard. Do all your homework. Show her your worksheets. Come to her office hours.
You're right. It would have been
Just
easier
like
to
a
learn
little
Italian. It would have been easier to learn Italian if I had done it sophomore year, first semester. But that was the dumbest academic decision I made in my life, taking Italian 2 senior year, 2 years no Italian.
So you tried to shortcut the Spanish that would have taken 3 by taking 2 Italian.
Yes, 2 semesters Italian, 3 semesters Spanish.
See, the whole thing is
I couldn't tell you 3 words in either.
So I looked out so much. They introduced sign language at my high school like that year or the year before. And she was like this don't give a fuck hippie chick who was in her late 40s, early 50s. No. Early 50s for sure. Something like that. Oh, wow. Like, I think her husband had just died. She was about to buy a red convertible and she didn't give a fuck. And she thought I was cute. And I didn't know shit about sign language. And I passed sign language 2. And that is my extra language on my fucking high school diploma. I still don't know any. I knew the alphabet. And somehow I passed sign language 2.
You know what I wrote down?
I
wrote down when I was stoned as shit to talk about on this episode is how food trucks, how the entire industry of food trucks was about trucks being able to drive around and go to different areas and offer food. But the new evolution of food trucks is you have to go to a location where food trucks will rent a spot and then you can go to those food trucks. Like the whole point of food trucks is to mimic the ice cream truck.
Right.
Go through streets, sell tacos through the streets. Why would you not do that? People
tell them, Taylor.
That's exactly what he. Thank you.
This is a high thought.
It was a very high thought. But think about this. I hear the fucking ice cream man go through my neighborhood all the time, and I'm too slow to catch him, and so I don't get it. But sometimes, like, it would be nice if a taco man drove through, right? And then you could go out there, and he'd be playing fucking Fiesta music, and you buy a couple tacos. And you do that. And you purchase the tacos at the truck that's moving around the same way an ice cream truck would, because the whole point of food trucks was to have them driving around offering food in all sorts of places, and it's evolved so the only truck that actually does that is the fucking ice cream truck, and you can't get like pulled pork, tacos, steaks, you can't get anything from a truck that drives through your neighborhood. And I guarantee if they start trying that, if a fucking crab boil truck drives through my neighborhood, I'm going to keep them in business.
I like this a lot. No, I love this idea.
Wait. If a crab truck drives through Taylor's neighborhood, he would slash the tires and turn it into the very thing he hates, a permanently located crab truck in Taylor's neighborhood.
That'd be great.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Welcome to the neighborhood. This is the crab truck.
What would you not buy out of a truck? Like spaghetti, steak? You can eat some steak off of a...
I do...
Steak.
I don't want a steak out of a truck.
You need 2
and also pasta. Not pot. Like I need something.
No. We can do pasta.
I want a hand food.
No, it's going to be in like, ice cream cones have that cone. It's going to be in a cone, and you're going to be able to.
It'll have to be some kind of like garlic flavored cone, or it'll clash too much.
It'll be garlic bread.
Well, there you go. What do you know?
Look at this,
the imaginary cone is indeed garlic flavored. Some of the best steak I had was was in Japan. It was like a Kobe beef skewer. It was just fucking amazing. I didn't think it could possibly be that good out of a skewer. If there was Team UFC, that would be fucking amazing.
Like
if there was swords,
that exists.
It does?
Dude,
oh my
5v5
God.
MMA fighting is so brutal. Because here's what happens. It starts 5v5 and quickly it turns into 5v4. Somebody wins somewhere.
Oh,
and
God.
now there's double teams all over the place. Eventually, there's like a 2v1 and a 3v1. Did that math work? Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
And some guys there fighting 3 people at once, trying to show some heart, but also hopeless. And,
you see how much it matters when you're outnumbered. It is not.
Oh my God! What is this?
Thank God that mime is there.
Look at the mime. Look at the mime. What the fuck? What country was this?
Well, I wasn't looking at the observing mime. I was looking at the protecting mime over the body.
That's not a protecting mime.
Because we know what the ref looks like. He has the blue gloves. What is happening?
Oh, they are not bothered by what's
I'll tell you
going
what
down.
I thought was happening. I thought that the man on his knees was holding down an opponent, and the two standing were helping him clobber them. But now, as I've looked closer, I think maybe the man dressed in white, in full clothing, might actually be getting clobbered. I can't really tell. This is a
here's my
terrible
theory.
photograph.
Here's my theory.
Can we do better?
It's shirts versus skins, right? And we're at a point where Shirt on the ground was doing well, but he found himself in a 1v3, and he's not going to do well for much longer.
Nobody does well in a 1v3 .
And it looks like a very upcoming 1v4.
I'll say
that guy's stride. That guy's striding very relaxed. And then look at Benedict Arnold, far left of the cage, just watching his man get.
I wish there was something I could do. But
I think it's
I'm just so
like
winded.
It's like a 3 or 4 on 1. So the guy strolling over is like, they don't need me to clobber that poor man.
Yeah. Well, then that guy should be going to the guy on the left.
I've watched a good bit of that. So there's a bunch of combat sports that are kind of like the black sheep of the family, right? Look at this.
Oh my God, it really is shirts versus skins.
Yeah.
The cavity creeps.
Why are their faces painted? Why are their fucking faces painted?
That's the Jabberwockies, the dance troupe. Their career has not been going well. Now they're fighting in their goofy masks. Yeah. I mean, I can tell just from this picture that the milkmen are going to get their shit pushed out.
That's
they
so
do not
funny.
look prepared.
I like that they brought 2 refs, though. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Why was there only 1 ref in the later pictures? Did one of the refs get out?
I think the guy on the left was there too. We just actually good point. I don't know if I noticed him. There's a lot of combat sports like that though. There's also the like medieval combat where they go at it wearing full armor and
those are
sword and
wild.
shield.
Yeah,
Those are wild because some of those guys dressed as knights are like actual like martial artists, and they'll head kick people wearing a steel boot.
Oh my God,
dude! It's like a countrywide, like it's like some tournament. I was watching a video online. It was like Belarus versus fucking Bulgaria, and both teams have like in armor shields and swords, and some of them have maces, and it's the same thing as that like multiplayer thing where eventually it's like 5-on-1, except these guys are getting their heads destroyed by dull swords, and like you can see the pain guys are in behind the like full face mask because a guy will like have his shield up and then he'll get double teamed, and they'll do like that movie move where the guy will punch with his shield into the head of the guy's helmet, and in a movie you're like, oh, he hit his helmet, he's okay, but then you see the guy like and he gets hit again in the head, and he's like 100% unconscious, maybe dead. There's like blood seeping out of his helmet. Like these people literally die.
They will
it's
hit
funny
them.
you called it the movie move because I had the opposite impression. By watching movies, which is where I learned about medieval fighting in the first place. I thought it was all about the sword. The shield was purely a defensive weapon, etc. That shield might be a better. If I could have a shield or a sword, I think I'd pick the shield. It's both defensive and offensive.
Well, some of them like
that shield, it's brutal.
Do you remember that clip in 300 where Leonidas like has the shield or whatever, and he like boxes someone with it?
Yeah,
like real hard.
He does like a
That's
backhand.
what they do. Yeah, like well, they weren't doing backhands. They were like literally like 3 guys in armor just pin a guy to a chain link fence effectively, and then just hit him in the head until he's no longer conscious.
Well, you can see the strikes. They'll hit this. The swords are very dull, but you can watch the guy get hit in the head, and it dents his helmet, and the guy's kind of wobbled.
Fuck?
The guy's wobbled, but a guy comes in and whacks him the same spot again and dents it even further. And you're like, I don't know how much more room's left in the helmet.
I wonder what the inside of the helmet is like. Right? Is the inside of the helmet done well,
Probably.
like a modern day professional NFL helmet, or do you think that it's realistic?
Reenactment.
They got it off Etsy.
It's made of tin. Yeah.
I picture leather and cloth, right? And that's probably good stuff.
I think you're
for
right.
that. For that, it's probably good enough.
I
But
would want to wrap a. Like I have some pretty quality motorcycle helmets.
Yeah.
Just put some metal on them and dress them up like medieval helmets. That's what you want.
My friend was talking about his buddy. His buddy's 6'7", and he works this restaurant, gets off late, and he's always drunk going home. So he's scared he's going to fall over drunk, kill himself. 6'7's a long way to fall. So he started wearing a helmet on the way home.
Get out.
and somebody was like, isn't he scared somebody's going to bother him on the way home? I'm like, he's an armored troll. Like when you're fighting
with a helmet.
If you're getting in a fight with a giant, your first thought is like, maybe I could hit him in the head and knock him out. This guy's got a helmet on, like strolling home.
Is that him?
No, this is a badass fucking
it's a helmet
though.
on Etsy. I wish
That guy's got Mark McGuire for
Do any of those pictures
look
on
at
the
that guy.
inside?
That guy's
on the left
beefy
show
as
the
fuck.
inside.
Wow. That's like a sex play helmet also.
That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
tight. I love
I'm here
that helmet.
for it. Yeah.
Sex panther.
Do you want that helmet, Taylor?
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I
was
just
actually
wear
gonna
wear
buy-
that to the store.
Taylor, you ever watch somebody do something that's clearly just real hard, but then convince yourself, I could do that if I wanted to?
Yeah, I've seen those oil rig workers where I'm like, I could do that without getting caught in the machinery immediately.
I'd last a week easy.
Dude, one metal pipe just
And they're like slapping that chain around and pulling that huge thing over, putting a new section of pipe in, and there's like shit moving everywhere that could kill, and they're just clamping it on. They got a whole rhythm to it, and then all of a sudden he lets it go, and you see go, and everybody looks down the hole at the pipe just disappeared down into the earth.
The 3,000 yards it just fell into
shit,
the belly of the earth. Yeah, I think oil rig worker is the most recent video I've seen.
Well, I watched a little film last night called Everest, I think. It's about a failed expedition to summit Mount Everest. Like, you've probably
was that the
seen it.
documentary, or was that the
Jake Gyllenhaal and like a ton of
but it was
A-list actors
based on
in
the
it.
story,
Like everybody's in it. Like it's the most recent Mount Everest movie with like every good actor in it.
It's like the based on a true story type thing, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end, they show you the real life people's pictures, and you're like, damn, that's good casting. Like a lot of them look a lot like the actors. It's really impressive. But dude, I think I'd climb Mount Everest if I wanted to. Because and hear me out. Hear me out. The climbing Mount Everest seems to me to be vacationing to Nepal and then having your shit carried to the base camp and then hanging out there for like 6 or 8 weeks while you acclimate to like the altitude, and then you sort of go on a really tough hike for like a day up some steep shit that's covered in ropes and pegs and guides while some people carry your shit for you and you're on oxygen. It just seems like a tough hike that you need to be a millionaire to go on.
I don't know.
The guys
right
going
now,
on it are not like super mountaineers. It is like a lot of rich guys just like doing it for the sake of doing it.
That's why the deaths are not impressive. It's not like the greatest mountaineers in the world. It's not like K2 like killed a bunch of people or something. It's fucking Bob the orthodontist who always dreamed of summiting. And in that movie I watched, sure enough, there's this weak fucking link. Taylor, he has bronchitis, clearly. You know that raspy cough where it's like, there's like clearly liquidy gunk going on. He has that the day before. The day before they're going to go to the summit. They're like,
you need
all
to
right, we're
rain
going
check
up tomorrow. And it's like his second trip. He'd already failed once before because weather came in. And this is a guy who works 3 jobs and has been given a discount. And the school that helped him raise money back home because he's a teacher, like, gave him this little flag to plant up there. So it's like, pull your heartstrings, we got to get Doug up there. That was his name, Doug, by the way. Doug don't make it.
Was his name, yeah.
Does he make it up?
Oh, he makes it up. That's why everybody died. He was like, you can't not let me do this. And the guy was like, fuck, all right, let's try. And he like took so long getting him to the top, and they died. They both died up there because of Doug. Doug, in the movie, I think, goes like crazy and he's like, oh, I'm so hot. I gotta get this shit off.
I gotta take off these clothes.
And then is like, while he's fumbling to take off his parka or whatever, slides off the mountain into the abyss that is, the side of Mount Everest. But
everybody walks down. I don't wonder why there aren't more skiers or paragliders or.
I don't think it's conducive to that. And the air's thin. All right, so this is out of my wheelhouse. It's definitely into yours, but they're up there at like 4.5, 5 miles or whatever. If you jumped off with your like para gear, would you notice that the air is that much thinner in the way it catches you?
Yeah, you do for sure. It makes a big difference. You have to.
You need a lot of
You need a lot more airspeed to fly when the air is that thin. I don't have any experience at 5 miles up. Like highest I've been is 2.
Yeah, all the again, I don't know anything, but like all the footage that I've seen of people climbing it, and that movie, of course, which I'm sure tried to be true to nature. It looked like a real steep hike. Like in some places, it's really steep. Like oh, it's a good thing we have ropes. But I mean, it does not look like that Alex Humboldt shit where he was doing El Capitan. Oh my God. I don't
None
even
of us
want to
think we could do that.
I can't do the first 10 feet of that shit. It's like I would be so scared 20 feet up. I'd be so scared. Like let's pretend like I trained at it my whole life. I'm still so goddamn terrified of falling off that thing. I'd still be so scared looking down. I don't have the balls for that shit. Or the I don't know. I have too much acrophobia for that.
They have.
Can you show that picture
list.
Vito linked?
They have a list here of everybody who died on Everest and like when they did. Way more Nepalese people than you would think. Like I thought it was going to be like mostly Americans and like French people or Russians or whatever, but yeah, a lot of these.
I just don't see how this is special anymore. It's like
nope.
Now it's just like waiting in line for like a Disneyland ride.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was cool when you were like, "Hey, I'm one of the 5 guys who did this," and now it's just
look
like,
at their gear.
Yeah,
do you think anybody out there is even cold? Do you think they're even chilly?
This really ruins the magic of it.
I think
there's a guy in the middle with a thermos full of hot cocoa for everyone.
Look at this. The sun's out.
If there's not hot
liners.
cocoa, then I'm lying. I guarantee that guy. You see him, the guy carrying the big barrel of hot cocoa for everybody, right back there. So
how do you
these
get
people
back?
Are probably
I see a 1-lane road.
Just turn around and go back, right?
But
but does everyone have to get to the top first, and they all turn around?
If you're at the top, how do you even turn around? Like how?
So, I am guessing, but I think we could definitely know that there isn't like a stop up there where everybody has to do a turnaround. Yeah. I bet they're going to like a flat area where everybody can spread back out, maybe, or something like that, like another camp. There's multiple camps on the way up the mountain where they're just stopping and chilling.
It tells you where everybody died in the list. It says like their nationality, their age, their name, and then where they died. And apparently, what is it? The Khumbu Icefall, Khumbu. Let me link this to Zach so he can show the photo. This is where a lot of people die. They fall into one of these
but my guess
crevices.
Is it's going to look easy
a crevasse.
To do.
A crevasse, indeed.
It is pretty cool that they can't get the bodies off the mountain, so you just go up and you're like, that's that guy that died like 15 years ago.
Oh my God.
At least like kind of roll them down a little every time. Like that way you kind of clean it up.
Everyone just pull every body 6 feet.
Yeah.
A few years ago, the first, I think it might have been a woman, but there was a person who summited Everest that was a double amputee. I don't think they had legs. But they got a lot of flack because it turned out they had passed by someone who was incapacitated on the way up and left them. And I think that person died.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's always stories like that where it's like, they're like, yeah, but I was climbing the mountain. And you're like, what is the point of this for you fucking people?
Yeah,
I am 80% sure I can do that. I am more sure that I can do that than I am that I can attack a shark. And I'm pretty sure I can attack a shark.
I would definitely rather climb Everest than fight a shark.
You could attack a polar bear.
I had this idea for a YouTube video called the Shark Attack, and the idea was that sharks, that whole for millennia, sharks have attacked man. Time to turn the tables on nature's greatest predator tonight. And like the idea was we'd like chum the shark up, and he'd be out there all mean and angry, biting onto some fish heads or whatever, and I would jump on his ass from above, wearing like a shark-proof chainmail suit,
Yeah.
and I would have.
Wow, so you're not even
hand,
confident in your skills.
And each hand, I've got like an ice axe, and I'm gonna hook into his back right away and dig my spurs in, which I finally get, and I'm going to like ride the shark down.
Dude,
below
episode
the wave.
1, you miss the shark sink like a stone because you're wearing chainmail.
Kyle was lost in the deep.
That would be a good video.
in its first and final episode.
Imagine I'm like on his back like fucking Aquaman, except the shark hates it.
Shark would hate it. Shark would fuck your ass up.
I don't think so, because here's the thing: a shark has never been attacked in that manner from above. And if it has, I bet it ran. I bet it ran because it's fucking what the fuck? That monkey just jumped on my back. Never seen that one before. Why does he have Red Rebel ice picks? God, he must be great at Tarkov.
Checkmate.
We did talk about Fury a bit. That's a good question. Yeah, that movie is so... I never hear about it. I never hear anybody talk about it. That was a great movie.
Brilliant
Shia
movie.
LaBeouf being a lunatic and like refusing to bathe and getting that far into it. Okay, maybe too much, but I'd rather see that than him like showing up with the latte, like not like making continuity errors.
Yeah. Well, when they had that battle in the field with the 3 versus 1,
Yeah.
and there were like shells bouncing off certain tanks and stuff, and you know what I mean? Like I thought, like that's one of the greatest tank scenes I've seen in a movie, and I'd love to know if that was realistic or not.
It's not realistic at all.
It felt real, but I don't know.
Especially all that, there's all that tracer fire and stuff. I don't think that's realistic at all. I think I'm not the one to ask. Again, we're talking about like asking people who know what the fuck they're talking about. I saw one of those YouTube videos though where they like ask a tank guy to rate tank movies and how realistic they are. And I want to say he didn't. I think he liked the scene, but he didn't love that. Like something about it. Maybe I remember something about the tracers, and then maybe something about like the.
It was remaining like stationary in the tank like for the duration of time they did was ridiculous. Something like that. I think.
Ooh,
could have been. I really enjoy those videos.
Yeah, when they have weird guys,
play,
seals, and all that stuff. Yeah, I like those.
Yeah,
but sometimes they give away some of the movie magic, though. So
yeah, that's true. But I like hearing like anything that I don't know enough about. I'm always remember what X Jaws used to call it, his information diet. He forever made that lame to say that. But like today, I was like, you know what? I got too many bullshit apps on my TV. I'm gonna download PBS. And what was the other one I got? I got PBS documentaries and I got Curiosity streams. Okay. And now I have access to like so much. I learned a lot today. We're gonna step up. They're like it's like educational fucking programming and documentaries and stuff. I don't know. I've been learning about evolution all fucking day and how we're all related to fish.
I tried so hard to find a good website to actually get what flat earthers believe, because for a long time, like I've had the idea that it would be really fun to go through that in a silly way. It is fucking impossible, because you'll get 2 pages into reading from some guy and then he'll say something like, you can tell it's not round because grapes are. And you're like, God damn it. Like I got hoodwinked again by someone who's lying. Okay, I got to find a real one of these guys and see what he actually believes. But if you try and read anything from these people, you get deep and your only conclusion can be this person's fucking with me.
You know,
like, this person does not believe what they're pretending to believe. Like I want a real flat earth guy and I can't fucking find a good one.
I saw a drawing recently or a 3D representation, and you have the Earth is a disc, a flat disc with a hole in the middle, like a record player, like a record rather. And it's spinning. In the center where that hole is the sun, and it's bobbing up and down above the horizon and below. And I'm like, you think that is simpler than balls going around each other? Like they got a whole fucking thing over there. I genuinely believe the same thing about them as I do the birds aren't real people. I think they're trolls. I think that when you talk about them, they think it's funny. They're like, see, they think that we think.
Eddie Bravo? You think he's faking?
I think that you also have a few people along the way who are hoodwinked by it and become like super believers. But those are the exceptions to
They're
the
the
rule.
exception, not the rule.
Yeah, I think the average like flat earther, the average birds aren't real guy, they don't believe in that shit. And I even believe the gang stalking thing. I think that the worst part about the gang stalking thing is you've got mentally ill people who believe they're being stalked everywhere by red cars one day, blue cars the other. Guys with blue tennis shoes are stalking me. See, there's one and there's one. Saw one at the laundromat, one at the post office. The problem with the people that I think are going along with that and making it seem more prevalent than it really is the people who are actually insane are getting reinforced. You know, like, there's a crazy guy who's like, I really did get stalked by 3 red cars today because he's insane. Yeah. So when he goes online and sees like some jabroni being like, really, it was blue cars in San Diego, and like seeing this guy be like, yeah, West Coast, I hear they're blue, you know, and then the guy, they start going with their craziness. Like that's a problem. Yeah, but I don't believe. I like to believe the best about people, and I like to believe that not as many people are stupid or as stupid as we're generally led to believe. I like to think that there's a lot of people out there who, if you stuck that microphone in their face and asked them these questions, they'd be like, no, of course not. The world isn't fucking flat. Like, I don't remember who figured it out or how, but I know it's 2 balls circling each other or some shit, right? Like, you'll get that 99% of the time.
Okay, yeah, why would the Earth be the flat one?
Okay, for example, does everyone here think that we went to the moon?
Yes.
Seems likely.
But you should see the guys who think we have not been to the moon. They're so convinced that we've not been to the moon. Like, I had this debate on Facebook the other day, and I could not give any scenario or article or factual information that this guy would believe. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's a lot of people like that though, right? And it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of crazy out there, and a lot of
the Russians would have called us out. And like just the other day, the Chinese sent a craft up to the moon. I don't know if it landed or not, but it orbited. And they took fucking pictures of the goddamn landing site. The Chinese took pictures of our landing site. And we're like, oh, look, America's landing site.
There was an Ultimate Fighter contestant who started in that kind of like medieval armor combat, but modern, right? And he's like, actually, all these sword fights turn into wrestling matches, and that's where I was strong. So then I transitioned to MMA, and he was good enough to be on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, I bet they would, because when I see street fights that involve weaponry, it always someone closes the distance most of the time, and it turns into a wrestling match. I saw 2 dudes face off with nunchucks on the internet yesterday, and it's like it looked like one of those like felon fights where it's like street fight.
Kyle's information diet is hilarious.
These dudes are like got the nunchucks and
that's where this
flicking them around. And the dude goes,
"How do you get there? Nunchuck fighting to the death."
I was on a subreddit called probably fight porn. I think I was on fight porn. And so they're flicking the nunchucks around. You can tell they don't know what they're doing. These are white dudes. And the dude goes, "These things are gonna fucking hurt," because they're heavy hardwood. If you've ever held a real set. And they start clobbering each other with them. And it ends up, both guys have it in their right, and they grapple with their left and hit each other in the backs with these things. That's what it turned into, you know, because neither of them is good enough to like, wah! And like knock a fucker out or keep anyone at range with it. It just turns into grappling. And
I wonder how nunchucks were really used. You know, like you just told me in sword fights, oftentimes they hold their own and use it like a staff, or they hit each other with the pommel. It's nothing like I thought. So you're like, oh, they weren't good enough to fight like Bruce Lee. Well, maybe Bruce Lee doesn't fight like a real person. He fights like a Hollywood.
Oh, I gotta imagine Bruce Lee was the real deal with the nunchucks. Like if you could operate them like he could, it seems like you could just break people's nose at range and then
yeah, but it's like the same range as like a sword or a staff.
Well, they're unarmed.
Right. I never. So the implication being that there is a world in which a nunchuck is a more useful implement than a baton or
a baton. Sure, it seems like 2 batons attached by a chain, but like a sword. Like who would pick a nunchuck to go up against a sword guy? It just seems
before like MMA.
My idea is that swords are like very expensive to get, but nunchucks you could.
All this Asian fighting stuff turned out to be mostly bullshito. Before MMA, they thought the baddest motherfuckers in the world were Japanese acrobats, right? These guys who could flip around, hit the top of your head, lay it on the other side,
cracking boards and shit.
It turns out the baddest motherfuckers in the world are wrestlers from the Midwest. Like you know,
Midwest Russia.
And Russia, yeah. But like, you know, these wrestlers from the flyover states and shit are the Iowa. they're the toughest guys on planet Earth. It turned out. When we went to Pride, those
Ukraine's
are the kind of guys
Midwest of Russia soon.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said Ukraine's going to be the Midwest of Russia soon.
Okay.
France,
so it wasn't until we watched the fights. Well, we're over here saying they're using nunchucks wrong. I'm not sure. Hollywood misled us.
I'd almost rather be unarmed. Like, I know that
I'd definitely get hit myself in the head.
I might hurt myself. And here's the worst thing. There's a difference between an ass whooping and an embarrassing ass whooping.
Okay.
I'll never forget, we're on the playground. These kids squared off. And one kid tried to do like a spinning karate kick. And he fell on his ass. And then the other kid just jumped on him and beat him up. And it was like, man, that was worse than an ass whooping. That because he went, ah! It's like that's humiliating. So
there was a
I
moment
feel like
where he thought, "I'm about to turn this thing around."
Yeah, he'd watched a lot of movies.
Destroyed, right?
He went Red Ranger and fucking spun around.
Hadouken! What the fuck? This is
Hadouken. Yeah, but it didn't fucking work. Get over here, or whatever cartoon that led him
I'm doing
to kick
Street
a man.
Fighter. You're doing Mortal Kombat.
Same thing.
Never played either, really.
No.
My jokes are falling flat with this.
Regardless, the nunchuck is a bullshit weapon, and there's no way that the nunchuck guys weren't, rightfully bullied by the sword guys back then. Even
you'd have to imagine.
Oh yeah, you're a sword guy.
I can't argue against
Michelangelo.
Yeah. That's the
guy.
jock and nerd of like ancient Japan. Is like, get a load of this fucking loser.
What are
with
the
his
dual
sticks.
little daggers called? Are they
Sai?
Yeah.
Remember from our Codenames game, I gave Sai, and it was beautiful.
Have you seen those clips online of people who are spending like 10 grand plus to do like pretend boot
6
camps?
a day, 3 days, $18,000 Alpha Man camp. That's what it is.
Is it called Alpha Man Camp?
No, but it's the best way for me to like condense it down to two or three words.
A day?
$6,000 a day for 3 days, $18,000. You basically go through like pseudo SEAL training, and there's lots of like learning to be assertive, learning to like be physical, learning resilience, stuff like that. And there's a lot. I saw one guy who I guess had some sort of like, he had a hard time being assertive, and the coach or the drill sergeant, more apt probably, is like, I'm not getting out of your way. You're gonna move me. And he's just like sort of moving him out of the way. He's like, move me out of your way if you want to get there. You want this? You want to be a man? You gotta go through me, Sergeant Slaughter. I got you for 3 minutes.
I wonder if it works at all. Because like, here's where I'm coming from on that. I sometimes read self-help books, and it makes me a better me for weeks or even a month.
That's Sergeant Slaughter right there.
Yeah.
At one point, he pulled out a knife, and he's like, if you're going to horse around and you're not going to take Sergeant Slaughter seriously, you see this tattoo? I might as well carve it out of my flesh.
By the way, Alan, your check did not clear.
But I bet you it's like a self-help book, that it has sort of a temporary impact in making you a little better, maybe.
It strikes me as like fake.
This looks retarded.
Oh my God, this is so lame.
You were right, Alpha Male Boot Camp.
Is that?
That's what it's in the tweet. A 3-day Alpha Male Boot Camp is seeing attendees mocked online for paying $18,000 to endure military-grade inspired punishments. You know what would be funny is if we saw them like with a hood on their head, like standing on a box, like Abu Ghraib.
Electrodes on their fingers.
Oh man, it wasn't worth it to be attacked by German shepherds for 3 days.
I hated the rape.
I mean, these people must not be total losers if they have 18 grand to spend on a 3-day vacation.
Yeah. Would you ever? What's the amount you guys would spend for that experience? If you
you would have to pay if you paid
how much would I charge? Is where that goes.
Okay, how much would you charge? All right,
18,000 wouldn't be enough. 30,000, I'd do it.
3 days from getting yelled at. $6 grand a day. You wouldn't do that.
There might be chafing. They're all.
You got to pay me 10 a day to yell at me.
Oh,
you can't yell at me for 6 a day.
I get yelled at for 6 a day. Ed,
not for only 3 days. All right, we stretch this out for a couple of weeks. We can get down to 6 a day.
Yeah,
I was a used car salesman for a long time. I have been yelled at for much less money. But Today, I don't know. I think I'm with Kyle on that one. It'd probably take 10 grand a day to yell at me.